Tonight at 8, a chemical found in hundreds of popular shampoos is now being linked to cancer. Crown 4 Scott Rates shows us the chemical and what's being done about it.
The shampoo sitting in your shower right now might be slowly destroying your hair, and you have no idea. While you've been trusting these billion-dollar brands, they've been hiding ingredients that cause more damage than skipping wash day entirely. But why would they deliberately sabotage their own customers? You know that feeling when you buy something thinking it'll help, but it actually makes everything worse? Well, grab a seat because we're about to talk about OGX's Biotin plus Collagen Shampoo. And trust me, this story gets wild. Here's the kicker. This shampoo contains something called DMDM hydantoin. Sounds fancy, right? Wrong. It's a preservative that slowly releases formaldehyde over time. Yes, the same stuff they use to preserve dead bodies. Makes you wonder who thought, hey, let's put embalming fluid in hair care. But wait, it gets better. Or worse, depending on how you look at it. Johnson & Johnson announced they'd reformulate back in 2021. Great news! Except those old bottles with the nasty formula? They're still sitting pretty on store shelves today, just waiting for unsuspecting customers. And here's where it gets really crazy. People bought this shampoo because biotin is supposed to help your hair grow thicker and stronger. Instead, they started developing bald patches. Some folks lost so much hair, they looked like they'd had a fight with a lawnmower, and lost. The lawsuits started piling up faster than hair in a barbershop drain. Scalp irritation, excessive shedding, the whole 9 yards. One woman said she felt like her scalp was on fire every time she washed her hair. The real insult? Those Instagram-worthy bottles made everyone think they were buying something premium and safe. But OGX isn't the only brand playing Russian roulette with your scalp. Tresemme's Keratin Smooth line sounds fancy, right? Like you're getting salon-quality care without the salon prices. Well, turns out that smooth experience might leave you smoother than you bargained for, as in smooth scalp, where your hair used to be. The brand is facing legal action across multiple states for allegedly causing hair thinning, baldness, and scalp irritation. But here's the kicker. It's that same troublemaker ingredient we just talked about. DMDM hydantoin strikes again. Some users aren't just reporting dryness or a bad hair day. They're talking about actual chemical burns on their scalps. Not the ouch, that stings a little kind of burn, but the I need to see a doctor kind. Unilever, Tresemme's parent company, has already settled similar lawsuits before. Yet somehow, products with these problematic ingredients kept showing up on store shelves. Makes you wonder if they thought we'd just forget about it. Like hiding vegetables under mashed potatoes and hoping nobody would notice. The cruel irony here? That keratin smooth promise that sounds so luxurious turned into a nightmare for many users. Instead of silky, manageable hair, they got brittle, breaking strands that fell out in clumps during washing. What makes this particularly frustrating for older Americans is how Tresemme marketed itself as the smart choice, a trusted drugstore staple for decades. Millions of people bought these products thinking they were making a wise, budget-friendly decision for their hair health. But wait until you hear what Pantene has been up to. Well, here's where things get sneaky. Pantene has mastered the art of making your hair feel amazing for about 2 weeks, then turning it into something that belongs in a museum exhibit labeled, "What Not to Do." The formula reads like a chemistry experiment gone wrong. Parabens that mess with your hormones, sulfates that strip your scalp like paint remover, and enough silicones to waterproof a boat. Your hair feels silky smooth at first because those silicones are basically putting a plastic coating on every strand. It's like putting makeup on a zombie. Looks good until you see what's underneath. But here's the kicker. After a few months of use, that silicone buildup creates what I call the wax museum effect. Your hair starts looking duller than a butter knife, feeling heavy, and refusing to hold any style. Makes sense, right? You're not washing your hair anymore. You're just adding another layer of coating. The sulfates work overtime, stripping away your scalp's natural oils. So your poor scalp goes into panic mode, producing more oil to compensate. Now you've got greasy roots and coated ends that look like they haven't seen conditioner since the Clinton administration. Then there's the hair loss issue. Multiple users report their shedding stopped completely after ditching Pantene. One woman told me it was like turning off a faucet. The hair just stopped falling out. For older adults already dealing with thinning hair, Pantene's harsh formula accelerates the problem instead of solving it. But wait until you hear what Suave does to unsuspecting budget shoppers. When you're living on a fixed income, every dollar counts. That's exactly what Suave banks on. Literally. They've built their entire empire on the promise that you don't need to spend $20 on fancy shampoo when $3 will do the trick. Well, turns out that bargain might cost you more than your retirement savings. Remember that DMDM hydantoin we keep talking about? The formaldehyde-releasing nightmare? Suave got caught red-handed using it too. Class action lawsuits started piling up faster than coupons in your kitchen drawer, with people claiming their hair turned into something resembling a scarecrow's wig after using Suave products. But here's where it gets really sneaky. Suave didn't just damage people's hair. They allegedly knew about these problems while still marketing their products as safe and gentle. That's like selling someone a used car while knowing the brakes don't work, then slapping a reliable transportation sticker on the windshield. The lawsuit complaints read like horror stories. People reported hair so brittle it snapped like dry pasta. Others said their hair became so unmanageable they looked like they'd stuck their finger in an electrical socket every morning. And the cruel irony? Many folks using Suave were trying to save money for more important things. Healthcare, grandkids, you name it. Instead, they ended up needing expensive treatments to fix what their budget-friendly shampoo destroyed. The real kicker is that repairing chemically damaged hair often costs hundreds of dollars in salon treatments. Suddenly, that $3 bottle doesn't seem like such a steal, does it? But wait until you hear what Head & Shoulders has been doing to people's scalps. Head & Shoulders has been America's go-to dandruff fighter for decades. Your dad probably used it. Maybe your grandfather too. And sure, it works. Those zinc perithione crystals will absolutely knock out the flakes. But here's the kicker. While it's solving one problem, it's busy creating 3 others. The formula loads up on sulfates that strip your scalp like paint thinner on a fence post. Makes sense for getting rid of dandruff, right? Well, not really. See, your scalp produces natural oils for protection. Strip those away every day, and your poor scalp starts working overtime, producing even more oil to compensate. It's like your head is stuck in panic mode. Then there's the synthetic fragrance situation. Companies don't have to tell you what's in their fragrance blend. It's like a secret recipe, except instead of 11 herbs and spices, you're getting a chemical cocktail that can trigger reactions ranging from mild itching to full-blown scalp dermatitis. But here's where it gets really twisted. You start using Head & Shoulders because you have dandruff. The harsh formula strips your scalp's natural moisture barrier. Now your scalp becomes dry and irritated, creating more flaking. So you use more Head & Shoulders. See the trap? For older adults, this cycle hits even harder. Your skin's already producing less oil naturally as you age. Adding aggressive sulfates to the mix is like throwing gasoline on a house fire. The truly frustrating part? Many users become completely dependent on anti-dandruff shampoos because their scalps lose the ability to regulate themselves. Speaking of dependence, wait until you hear about Garnier's sneaky fragrance game. Garnier Fructis smells like a tropical vacation in a bottle. Too bad your scalp gets zero say in booking that trip. Those fruity scents hitting your nose? Pure synthetic chemistry. Companies aren't legally required to tell you what's actually in their fragrance blend. It's like ordering a mystery cocktail, except this one goes directly onto your head every morning. Here's where it gets sneaky. That single word, fragrance, on the ingredient list can hide dozens of individual chemicals. Some of these compounds mess with your hormones worse than a bad day at the doctor's office. Your scalp absorbs everything, and those endocrine disruptors don't just wash down the drain. But wait, there's more disappointment coming your way. The allergic reactions start small. Maybe some itching, a little redness. Then your scalp decides it's had enough of this fruit cocktail party. Full-blown contact dermatitis can develop, requiring actual medical treatment. Nothing says fresh and fruity like a dermatologist visit. The whole blends line really takes the cake here. The packaging screams natural ingredients with pictures of avocados and honey. Meanwhile, the formula contains coal tar dyes and harsh preservatives that would make a chemistry professor cringe. It's classic greenwashing, making you think you're getting Mother Nature when you're actually getting Mother Chemical Corporation. For older adults with sensitive skin, these synthetic fragrance bombs are particularly brutal. Years of exposure builds up like interest on a bad loan. Your scalp keeps the receipts, even when your nose gets tired of the smell. Speaking of receipts, let's talk about another brand that's been collecting some expensive legal bills lately. You know what's worse than using horse shampoo on your delicate human scalp? Actually believing it'll give you a magnificent mane like Mr. Ed. Mane and tail started as an equine product. Makes sense, right? Horses need clean hair too. But somewhere along the way, humans decided if it worked for a 1,200-pound animal, it must be miracle juice for our heads. Well, the lawsuits tell a different story. Straight Arrow products got slammed with class action suits after users reported severe scalp irritation, hair loss, and actual bald patches. The culprit? Those same formaldehyde-releasing ingredients we keep seeing pop up like unwanted weeds. Here's the thing your beautician won't tell you. Horsehair and human hair are completely different animals. Literally. Horses have thick, coarse strands designed to withstand rolling in dirt and galloping through fields. Your hair? It's delicate, refined, like comparing a steel wool pad to silk thread. The protein-heavy formula meant for equine manes is basically using a sledgehammer when you need tweezers. Some folks experienced chemical burns so severe they needed dermatological treatment. Permanent hair loss in affected areas became their expensive souvenir. And the weird part is how this trend caught fire. People saw horses with shiny coats and thought, "That's my ticket to fabulous hair." But horses don't worry about pattern baldness or age-related thinning. They don't need gentle pH levels or delicate moisture balance. Using horse shampoo on human heads is like wearing horseshoes to a dinner party. Technically, footwear, but completely wrong for the situation. But what if I told you there are actually 2 shampoo brands worth your hard-earned money? Finally, we get to the good stuff. After dragging 7 brands through the mud like a bad hair day, let me tell you about Alterna's Caviar Anti-Aging line. And yes, it's actually made with real caviar extract. Before you ask, no, they're not cracking open fish eggs in your bathroom. But they are using marine proteins that cost more than my first car payment. Here's what makes this different from those drugstore disasters we just covered. Alternate specifically targets aging hair. You know, that stubborn stuff that starts acting like it's got a mind of its own after 50. Thinning, brittle strands that snap faster than your patience with telemarketers. The caviar extract delivers omega fatty acids that actually penetrate your hair shaft. Not coat it like house paint, but genuinely repair it from the inside out. It's like sending your hair to physical therapy instead of just putting a Band-Aid on it. And here's the kicker. Zero sulfates, parabens, or formaldehyde-releasing preservatives. Remember that toxic trio from the brands we just roasted? Gone. Now, I won't sugarcoat it. This stuff runs $30 to $40 per bottle. Makes your wallet cry a little. But here's the thing. You use way less per wash because it's concentrated. And one bottle stretches 2 to 3 months easy. Users report stronger hair within weeks, less breakage, better manageability, and that my hair actually looks decent without a hat. Feeling we all miss, but maybe luxury pricing isn't your speed. Good news, there's another winner that won't require selling a kidney. Now, before you think quality hair care means emptying your retirement fund, let me introduce you to BioTerra. This brand proves that safe ingredients don't require a second mortgage. At $7 to $10 per bottle, BioTerra offers sulfate-free, paraben-free formulations right there in your local drugstore. It's like finding a diamond ring in a cereal box. Unexpected, but absolutely real. The brand focuses on botanical extracts and natural proteins that actually strengthen your hair instead of declaring chemical warfare on your scalp. Makes sense, right? You can use it daily without wondering if you're slowly poisoning yourself through your shower routine. Here's what separates BioTerra from those problematic drugstore disasters we just covered. Their ingredient lists read like a garden catalog, not a chemistry textbook. No formaldehyde-releasing preservatives hiding in there like unwelcome dinner guests. Users consistently report something remarkable. Their hair feels genuinely clean without that stripped, squeaky feeling. You know that sensation when your hair feels like you've washed it with dish soap? Yeah, that's actually damage happening. BioTerra gives you a balanced, healthy clean that doesn't leave your scalp sending out distress signals. But here's the real genius of this brand. They offer different targeted formulas, strengthening, volumizing, moisturizing, so you're not playing hair roulette every time you wash. For older adults dealing with specific concerns like thinning or dryness, this targeted approach means you're addressing your actual problems, not just hoping for the best. BioTerra represents that sweet spot we've all been searching for. Budget-friendly pricing without the toxic baggage that comes with most cheap shampoos.